Michelle, and I'm going to tell you all about Easter and what it's really about. No bunnies, no eggs, no nothing, I guarantee you. I think it's going to be all boring. Well, this is for kids. So I'm thinking, let's mix it up and do it high schools. So here's the high school format. Jesus is the coolest kid ever because he's the headmaster's son. He knows it, but the other cool kids who aren't so cool as Jesus don't know it. Now, the other cool kids are the priests. Now, these priests go around teaching in a way that Jesus doesn't teach. Instead, he's telling parables. Now, a parable is just like this story I'm telling you now. So it's a parable in a parable, really. And Jesus goes around telling parables, hey, there was this guy, he went to party too much, he lost all of his money. And that was his dad's money. He went back to his dad's house, and his dad still welcomed him. Now, you all realise that story. Now, the sinners were the not-so-cool kids. You may also call them the nerds, female version, geeks. So the nerds and the geeks are crying because they know they've sinned, they've done bad stuff, robbed, steal, didn't go to the synagogue, that sort of thing. And then Jesus goes and says, it's all right, you won't get expelled, which means go to hell or either die. And then the sinners are suddenly all right. So Jesus hangs out with the sinners, teaches them a bit, and everything's right. Wrong. The priests, right here, the cool kids, are saying, why won't he hang out with us? We're the cool kids. I mean, we have cool moms, we have cool dads. I mean, we're really awesome. I mean, that guy has skateboards. But Jesus is like, nah, I'd rather hang out with the nerds, thank you, and teach them some maths. And this makes the priests, or aka the cool kids, really, really, really angry. So, that's not it. You see, the priests come up with this sort of plan to make Jesus expelled. Now, they're trying to make the second headmaster, also known as the Roman Pilate, to think that Jesus is trying to take over the school and take over the headmaster's place, which is absolutely wrong. Sometimes these people don't focus, really. So Jesus knows this is going to happen because he's the headmaster's son and he's about to get expelled for all of our undone schoolwork. You get me? So Jesus rounds up all of the kids that follow him around. And these people are also known as disciples. There are 12 of them. So Jesus goes to do the Last Supper and washing of the feet. Now, let's turn that into the last McDonald's and the washing of the shoes and the dishes. So, Jesus calls his friends over and he's like, hey, do you want to play video games, eat pizza, or go to McDonald's? Okay. And they're all like, fine. So Jesus goes to McDonald's and he orders their freshest hamburger and a ketchup bottle. He breaks the hamburger in half and he says, now this hamburger is my schoolwork. Please take care of it and eat it with care. And he gives them the ketchup bottle. And do you know why he does that? Because he's the headmaster's son. And the headmaster's son gets free school lunches. So he goes and he says, anybody got any dirty shoes that I should wash? So he washes them and he's like, ugh. And he uses Vanish. He uses Vanish White, Vanish Original, Vanish anything. Anything that's Vanish, he uses it on it. And one of the disciples whose shoe was actually brown, somehow Jesus turned it white. One of the shoes that were red, somehow Jesus turned it white. Anything he touched was white. And then back over at the cool kids' place, where they hang out and stuff, also known as the synagogue, they were like, oh, let's say that he's trying to take over the school. And then everybody else is like, okay, but we have to make somebody betray him. Back over at Jesus' house, they said, somebody's about to betray me. He's not Nostradamus, but he's very good at fortune telling. But it's not fortune telling. He's the headmaster's son. This priest goes over and says, I'll pay you lots of money that will buy you loads of pizza. And this is one of the followers, also known as disciples. And this follower is named Judas. Now, you've heard that name before, and he's the betrayal guy. Anyway, so the priest says, hey, if you sort of tell us where Jesus is, we'll pay you lots of money that can buy you lots of pizza. And then Judas is like, okay. He goes off, doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. And then he tells them Jesus is video gaming, also known as playing. So, while all of their friends are video gaming, Judas is actually crying because his friend is about to get expelled and he thinks he's never going to see him again. Well, he's wrong, and that's where the resurrection comes in. Jesus is there playing his video game. Judas comes in, plays his video game really slowly, and then the cool kids come along. They open the door. They go up the stairs. Boop, 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 boop. They go into his room. And then they say, hey, you're going to be expelled because you were trying to take over the school. Jesus is like, okay, because he's going to be expelled for all of the homework we haven't done. Hooray! So the cool kid says, okay, take me away. And all of his friends are saying, I don't know, Jesus, please don't take me away. And they're freaking out. No, really freaking out. Anyway, Jesus is feeling very, 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 very sad. So Jesus goes, sorry. And then he goes off. The next day, the vice headmaster, or the vice principal, as the Americans like to call it, also known as Pilate, says, Jesus, you are expelled for trying to take my position and the headmaster's position. And Jesus is like, okay. So he gets his school bag and he tries to carry it. But it's full, really full. So one of the nerds has to carry it for him. He opens the school door and he says his last words, which aren't really his last words. It is finished. And then, 3 days later, he came back into school again. Mostly because it was about to be the summer holidays. Anyway, Jesus came in through the door and said, hello. And then people just hugged him so much. So he started telling his stories again. Anyway, the priest is like, how did he do that? And then he says, because I'm the headmaster's son. And then, when the summer holidays start, Jesus has to go. Also known as in the Bible, when Jesus goes to the clouds. The priests are still trying to stop followers that still believe in Jesus, that he died on the cross, he returned, and he's going to return again. However, these Christians stand still, and in history, the more that they get tortured by the priests and the Romans, the more that they believe. And that's the Easter in a nutshell in the high school format. The end. My name is Michelle, and I'm 8 years old. Bye-bye.